Okay, another video here. Okay, this is my cook kit. It's another water bottle holder. This one is slightly bigger in diameter than the one Tigris one. I got this one on another Chinese knockoff. It was next to nothing in price. I don't think I paid even more than $10 Canadian for it, and that included shipping out of China. Granted, I had to wait almost a month for it, but I was in no hurry. So this is my cook kit. When I go for a day hike, I'll bring this with me, and either like a mountain house meal if I feel like spending the money on the mountain house. Could be a can of chicken, chunky chicken, and some rice. I've done quinoa. Get one of those mixes there. It says have to have milk, but I just put the water to it and stir it up, and then you can throw something in. Or just take a can of soup or some chili with you, or Chef Boyardee, anything at all, just to make a small little meal for you. And have enough water, you can boil, maybe have a cup of coffee or hot chocolate. Anyways, in the front pouch here, this is my stove. It's one of those Lexada. Again, you put it together. That's the bottom piece there that goes in here. And I put the screen on top because my pot then sits on top of the grill here. Now, I can burn wood in that. It's a wood burning stove. However, I use alcohol. Now there's a homemade windscreen for the alcohol that you can put around this. Have a can opener in there, even though a lot of the stuff you don't need can openers anymore. 2 ounces of fuel, which is enough for a day hike. I always keep in some matches, a lighter. I got the other can opener, the military style, knockoff from China, and a ferro rod and striker, which I use to start this. I very rarely have ever used that at all. And what's in here? My Trangia knockoff alcohol burner, and that was one of the cans that came with the chicken. And what I do is I take that out. This sits about yay high in the stove. I turn that upside down so the alcohol burner can sit on top of that, and then it brings it within about 1 inch of the screen. So that's, I guess what most people say, 1 inch, no more than 1.25 inches. You should try and keep your alcohol stoves cooking at the bottom of your pot. Salt and pepper. A long spoon if I'm doing mountain house. I always keep some water in there just in case. I keep water in my truck in a cooler anyways, but I always keep that in there. Your spork. And I carry one of the Stanley cook pots, which I modified so I can take the handle off, put it back on again. I took the little plastic thing off the top, although I don't think it would ever melt it. That's what I use to cook in. And I bring the Glacial cup. So you cook up your food in that. If it's soup, I'm going to eat it out of there. If it's a chicken with some rice or one of those quinoa things I heat up in there, or I can eat it out of that, and then put this back on with some water to make coffee, hot chocolate, you know, something like that. You know, a hot meal, you can walk on the trail. It's just nice to have a hot meal. Even if you don't even have a meal, just to bring, say, a coffee with you. And that always goes good. I'll stick this in here and just show you. Now I've had this one here for a while. I've used it quite a bit. I've never had any problems. Some people complain that they crack, possibly. I mean, I've never had. Now somebody says don't ever let it run dry of fuel. Always leave a little bit of fuel in there. Anyways, it is a Trangia knockoff. It's an Alox, but it sits just at the right height when it's in there with your screen on, and then your pot. or the Glacial cup. And the only thing that's heavy in there is your water. Everything else is fairly lightweight. And yeah, and I modified that. I found that this worked really good to put that in that kit. Some people don't do it. I just found it was easy. I mean, it still does what it's supposed to do if you want to snap it over that way with the lid on. Oh, and I always have a pair of gloves with me. If I don't, I got my leather men to pick up this afterwards when I want to take the snuffer to snuff it out. It can also be opened up different if you want to simmer, so you don't need the full flame. Anyways, thank you.